Hello everybody, and welcome back to Rain Check. We're meeting up with Javier. It's been a while, we haven't us the player, right? Haven't seen them since that one night where Ro go down. So it's been a nice reunion, right? I like Javier. He's the funny one. I don't understand. Am I missing something? This doesn't account for what I'm thinking. I know that I'm close. The fact are we playing from Javier's perspective? Oh, interesting. Okay. I know that I'm close. The facts all seem to be pointing in a specific direction, but I can't seem to reach a clear conclusion. I stare at my screen again. Not screens, not our 5-monitor gamer setup. Rubbing my temples, trying to see if there's any flaw in my logic. I'm not getting anywhere. Is that what that said? No. I'm getting nowhere with this. Okay, I'm sorry, Javier. I can't. I'm still distracted by the fact that our POV is you and all that. Shaking my head, I clear the document I've been working on out of frustration. Oh, I know that. Let me try this again. There must be something I'm not accounting for. What happened that night was definitely not a coincidence, and yet, how could we have conveniently run into Magnus, of all people? Then Ro and Theodore were attacked by an unknown group when they were trailing the snow leopard. Highly implausible. And on top of it all... And to top it off, okay, sorry, how was I able to join along Magnus's business meetings so easily that night? I shiver at the thought of the lustful white fox, as he's the one that comes to mind. I try to suppress the unimportant details that had transpired that night, instead trying to recall the facts I had managed to coax out of him. He had a meeting with somebody at the speakeasy, but they never showed up. And that's why he was looking for somebody. Ugh, that brute. I rubbed my shoulder, and the thought of Magnus reminded of how he manhandled me while he was escorting me around. Why was he so persistent in inquiring me about the bigwigs? I thought all of the investors and philanthropists, I know the word, I just can't pronounce it, would know each other somehow. It doesn't make any sense. Why was I chosen out of everyone there? What about the person he was meeting up with? And what the hell was that contract that Magnus needed me to co-sign with him? Why was I needed as a witness? Something definitely isn't adding up. Or rather, it's like there's something contradictory that I just can't point out. What do they have in common? The obvious answer would be the speakeasy, but that's the place Lawrence was tasked to check out. And speaking about the wolf, I presume he's back to his vacation now that our investigation is suspended with Ro in the hospital, since he hasn't been replying back to my emails. Strange that I still haven't heard back from Andrew. I know he's busy, and it's not like him to be missing from action like this, especially with all that's been happening. Maybe I should swing by the office tomorrow to check up on him, as well as give him the evidence I gathered. I stare at my barely functioning phone as I stretch out my limbs from exhaustion, rolling my eyes as I spot the time. It's already so late in the day. There goes my plans to finish up any report. Huh? I wonder who could it be? I'm not expecting any visitors or packages today. I stopped to check the security cameras I had installed and spot Lawrence smiling back at me through the lens. What the hell is he doing here? This better be good. Good afternoon, Javier. Long time no see. Lawrence, what have you been? Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you through email since yesterday. I thought you went on vacation. Email? Javier, I would assume someone like you would stray from such primitive technologies. You know we do all our communications through the proxy. Yes, I would have, but my phone's been... The phone shakes the wolf, not the phone, the wolf shakes his head, cutting me off, then strides fully inside, brushing past me. Hey, what exactly do you think you're doing? Lawrence, I would appreciate some kind of explanation before you carelessly waltz in here and announce yourself. Well, luckily for you, that's exactly what I came here to do. He sits down on my sofa, lounges, and glances around my living room, inspecting my decor meticulously. Did some redecorating here, I see. Rather drab, but I like it. The gray fits you. What? Why the long look on your face? It was a compliment. I continue to ignore the wolf and pay no mind to his banter. Not even a thanks? Fine. Oh, why don't you tell me what you figured out so far? I roll my eyes and decide to go along with Lawrence's ego. Well, with the main investigation, not much. I decided to suspend that for the time being. And? Oh, and why's that? With Rose's current condition, it would be wise to take a step back and reassess our priorities. Yes. I was meaning to visit that maroon wolf, and I don't think that would be such a good idea. Would it? Anyway, what exactly is the plan of action now? I'm not quite sure at the moment. There are things that I've managed to uncover that I'm not sure what they might mean just yet. For example, the Delta Arctic Expedition. He tilts his head curiously. I managed to accompany the CEO the night we were at the speakeasy. Magnuson? Yes. Interesting. Go on. You don't seem as surprised as I thought you'd be. Huh. Well, with how things are going these days, it hardly comes to a surprise. Comes as a surprise, would it? Regardless, he said he was waiting for someone to accompany him, but they never came. Instead, he asked me if I wanted to join him, in which I left at the opportunity to learn more since he's heavily affiliated with the group of investors at TAI. Lawrence gives me a small patronizing nod. Very nice, very nice. And what kind of information did you acquire? Besides the fact that the fox has an enigmatic taste in men, I was able to take a photo of a contract he needed to sign when no one was looking. The contract itself looked pretty peculiar, and I found it strange that I was there only as a witness for the signing itself. What was the contract? Investments and partnerships for various companies involving the Big Five, which I had only briefly heard about in passing. I paused, waiting for a response from Lawrence. That's strange. He isn't reacting at all to this information. Furthermore, I was able to learn from Magnuson that whoever set up the meeting with him at the speakeasy that night went by the name Helix. Apparently, Helix had contacted the Fox weeks prior to TAI and said they wanted to discuss an interesting opportunity with Magnus as well. Helix. What an interesting name. Lawrence shakes his head and gives me a small round of applause. Well done, well done. I do have to say, you have a knack for finding the most interesting leads to these sorts of things. Unfortunately, it feels like it's completely irrelevant to the assigned case we were tasked to complete. Maybe not. I feel like I'm close to bridging the gap with all of these loose ends connecting. Oh, do share. Well, for starters, the Harbor Fire and Cypress both point at Blackout, which loosely connects to the power plant. That in turn points itself to the snow leopard we met there, and according to Theodore, they were also there at the speakeasy when I left. Magnuson. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, was also at the speakeasy that night, which doesn't feel like a coincidence. I stare back at Lawrence, his attention fixated to the heavy rain outside the window instead. Wait, did we didn't really mention Christopher, did we? That has to be important, right? Well, your thoughts? Lawrence nods slowly as he turns to face me. Not bad. You've gotten a lot of intel, but it's a pity it doesn't really matter. What do you mean? Just to remind you, our investigation is about the harbor fire that transpired years ago. Not to say what you've deduced isn't meaningful, but wouldn't it be more effective than finding information directly related to the fire itself? I glance at Lawrence, stung by his patronizing tone. What are you implying? That we've been missing the mark the entire time? No. I think we've been doing quite exponential. Yeah, exponential with the... Oh, excuse me. Yeah. With the given leads and information presented to you. But I believe we're about to break this case wide open, and I require your assistance. Well, if you had critical information like this all this time, why wait until now to say it? Out with it already! He flashes his classic shit-eating grin at me and smirks. This man's amazing. I found the survivor. What? You did? My voice is a mixture of surprise and disbelief, which clearly seems to offend Lawrence. He sighs and smiles, clearly sensing my skepticism. Yes, I spent the past couple days meticulously tracking them down. But thanks to Rudy, I managed to pinpoint their location by the cliffs? By the cliffs. In italicized? The cliffs. Do people still live there? Explain your methodology, and how did you track them down? But of course. Nights ago, when we were at the speakeasy, I spotted a suspicious figure exiting the building. That's when I noticed a particular mark along their arm, devoid of fur, so I decided to pursue them with the help of the glasses. I had gotten close enough to tag a tracker onto their coat before I heard Theodore in the distance. He reaches into his coat and takes out 2 pieces of paper encased in a thin film of plastic, one much larger than the other. Why don't you take a look at the larger one? I took that yesterday. He passes me the paper, in which I study them carefully. The larger one contains an image of an extremely blurry figure. Zoom in, enhance, in a distinct-looking neighborhood. And I presume this is the alleged survivor. I can't even make out their full figure from this. Of course it is. Their location stabilized there yesterday, and hasn't been moving since until the tracker had ran out of battery. I think it's safe to say that the survivor resides there. Won't you agree? Listen, I took the liberty of staking out their place to capture that photo. You can hold the applause. And as for the smaller photo, that's what their apartment looks like based on the most recent street view. Huh, okay. And we're sure this is the survivor. Of course! Are you doubting me? I told you that they were most likely to show up at the speakeasy, and they did. There's even photographic proof in your paw. But where did you hear that from? Boss? Precisely. It was the boss himself that delegated the task to investigate the speakeasy. Remember, Javier, not all leads end up fruitful. That's why we're working as a team. I shake my head, squinting at Lawrence in annoyance. Speaking of which, I'm trying to contact him, but I've had no luck. Did he not tell you? He's on leave. He mentioned it to the people in the office earlier this week. But, that's right. I forgot you didn't like to come to the office, do you? Well, aren't you glad I'm here to tell you then? I don't appreciate that comment. You know I get things done more efficiently at home. Of course you do, but hey, uh, and more power to you. So what happened anyway? Where did he go? And more importantly, when's he coming back? I have things I need to report to him. He didn't specify, besides the fact that he'll be out of the country for the rest of the month. I pocket the photos and give the wolf an inquisitive look before sighing. Yeah, these photos are important. Thanks for stopping by sorry I've been on edge recently. I assume you want me to look into the survivor if you've given me these photos. Bingo. And of course, it's not to say that I wouldn't or couldn't do it myself, but you're more suitable for this field of expertise. His leg bumps against the table beside him, knocking over the items on top as he tries to get up. Hey, watch it! My apologies. You know how it is with tall people. But maybe you wouldn't. This man! He crouches down to pick up the fallen items and places them back on the table while I shake my head at his clumsiness. Anyway, I won't want to overstay my welcome. But don't try to get too caught up in what's already happened, and let's focus on wrapping this case up. If you can manage to dig up any more information on the survivor as soon as possible, that would be lovely. I don't know if they're going to be on the move again. Yeah, all right then. But what about you? What are your plans? I think I deserve a break. Wouldn't you think so, Javier? You should learn from me after this case is over and take a break. I promise you'll be less grumpy. I take the photos out of the, to examine once more, this time studying the details more closely. Oh, look at that. That's like building. Oh, it's a thingy. Is it a clickable thingy? Whoa! Oh my god, it's interactable. What shit? Okay. We'll hit the X button. The cliffs, huh? There is certainly a possibility. Living, maybe I shouldn't read the narration in his voice. Living in a place that's secluded and run down to stay out of sight from the general public. And how the hell did he get images like this? Maybe I should start making another pair of Rudy for myself. They're so dark and grainy though. I'll need to enhance these later. Oh, we're gonna zoom in. We're gonna enhance. Maybe I should give Lawrence more credit for this effort. And here I thought I was onto something with the snow leopard and blackout. All this time, I've been skirting around the real issue. I exhale a deep sigh, my gaze lingering at the window, first towards the hospital, then drifting to Theodore's neatly arranged luggage tucked away in the room's corner. I should visit them, but there's nothing I can do. You can just say hello! Come on, Javier! Come on! Besides, there are more pressing matters demanding my attention right now. I guess we're gonna see him, so like it's fine. Maybe later. Oh. My eyes scan the map on the screen, trying to narrow down the research space. So, it's not there. Not there either. Where could it be? I hold up the photo against my monitor, hoping to find a match to where the photo could have been taken. The street view of these neighborhoods looked desolate and barren. Frankly, I'm even surprised this area is updated as recently as it is. I take it back. Maybe I should be given less credit to Lawrence. He went out of his way to scout out this location, but didn't even bother telling me the address. It's just Lawrence. Where the hell is it? Countless minutes pass by as I scour through every single path in the streets, trying to match up the photo and the image on screen. Words, I can't. I know I can't pronounce English, but like when it's anything other than English, we don't even attempt, right? No attempts here. I get up from my chair and stretch, my tail and back aching from sitting for God knows how long. I'm getting close. I can feel it. Just need to pinpoint this building. Again? Don't tell me that damn wolf is back again. I don't know how Ro hasn't ripped that guy into pieces yet. I roll my eyes and hop over, feeling annoyed that I'm being disrupted again. I open the door without checking, confident that it's Lawrence standing on the other side with his stupid sly grin. It's better, boys! Look at these two. They're so cute. These are my little guys. Theodore?
Hey, Javier. Hey, I'm here too. You remember who I am, right?
Yes, Monty, with an I. How could I not remember your loud demeanor?
Sweet!
Yeah, you. I understand, but what's he doing here?
I brought him with me because he remembered something about the power plant this morning.
Huh? Well, this is a pleasant surprise. I suppose the two of you can come in since you came all this way. The two make their way into my living room with the boar brushing precariously close by my bookshelves. Hey, not too close to the books. That bookshelf probably costs more than you think.
Dude, that's so cool. I wish I had nice things like these. Yo, what's that over there?
The boar points to my toaster in the kitchen. That's, a toaster.
Wow, but it's not just any toast. You have the fancy ones. I've been trying to save up for one of those.
Fancy? What are you talking about? This piece of trash isn't even, can't even evenly heat.
I don't know. Yours is so shiny.
Right. Well, the two of you can have a seat while I get you two something to drink.
Water's fine.
The boar nods happily at Theodore.
Yeah, same for me, dude.
I got some water on my desk as well, where we could all be water boys together.
I step over to the kitchen for a second before walking back and handing over the two gentlemen their cups. So, how is he? Ro, I mean.
He's awake now, but...
Good. A wave of relief washes over me, knowing that Ro's okay. I was worried he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, he's, never mind. How have you been?
No, Theodore, don't dance around it! Theodore! Theodore, I love you. I really do. Like, I do. You're cute. But, like, you should just tell him the truth. You should just tell him!
What did you manage to find out when you were with Magnus that night?
I shake my head, rolling my head. Yes. As I do when the thought of Magnus pops back into my mind. Magnus needed someone as a witness for the contract he was signing at the business party. Interestingly enough, I think I saw Nodal there. Didn't we meet his son when we were trying to infiltrate the storage room? Oh, David.
You did?
Oh, wait, look at the sprite. Look at this right for Theodore. I was looking at the text for all that time. Look at him, he's thinking. He's a thinking boy. Look at him. Wait, how do you hide the thing? Like, was very, very good. Very good.
David was there too.
Not that I could tell. It was mainly filled with people in suits and faces I can't quite recognize. But I'm pretty certain I spotted Nodal.
So what was this contract for? Why were you needed as a witness? I thought he needed someone smart.
It didn't seem that important. Just some investment policies. It seems like Magnus is trying to expand his wealth into other companies. The only thing I managed to learn is that the person who set up the meeting with Magnus at the speakeasy was called Helix.
Helix? Not Felix?
Helix. This leads me to believe that it's some kind of code name. Code name. Someone can be named Helix, I'm sure.
Huh, Helix. That's a cool name. I feel like I've heard that kind of name before. No, false alarm. Hey, that reminds me. I remember some stuff, back at the power plant, and I thought you might want to hear it.
I roll my eyes at the boar. I guess I can hear him out. Yeah, yes. What is it? Oh, he rises. I watch Monty carefully as he starts to get up from his seat.
Okay, so there I was, in the power plant, being escorted inside by Snowy. But there was this huge 18-wheeler that was being loaded in with a bunch of big boxes. I remember one of the workers there accidentally dropped one of them, and it made a loud thud, and then Snowy snapped at him.
I stroke my chin, deliberating if this piece of info is relevant or not. But we didn't see any truck of that size when we were there.
Not to mention but have you seen the news recently? Apparently the police have started their investigation of the power plant since yesterday afternoon. What do you think this means?
Nothing good. Due to the circumstances and timing and how things played out that day, no one should have tipped off the authorities considering that place has been abandoned.
So, the police shouldn't have known about it.
Well, let's break it down. It wouldn't make sense for Blackout to report this, but if it wasn't us, then the only possibility is that another unknown party informed the police about this. They must have known about Blackout, and they also must have known that they were at the power plant.
You don't think it's another rival gang that reported them, do you? I think you mentioned something like this before.
I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. I need to look into that but I currently have my paws tied with the amount of work I need to do.
Oh, that's fine. I think I could look into it if you were busy.
No, that won't be necessary. I think it would be best if you didn't involve yourself with this anymore.
Oh, look at this face! Look at this face from him! He's so angry. He's the most harumph.
Look, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm enamored by Theo. Okay, he's our little Tigor. You know, I can't. Okay, it's fine.
What? But why? I thought we were trying to figure this stuff out. Wouldn't it make sense if we investigate this, especially since it's so closely related to what happened with me and Ro?
Yes, I agree, but...
And what about the snow leopard that got away? The three of us were there that night in the alleyway, and I'm pretty sure he was the main target.
Confusion strikes across my face. Lawrence never mentioned this to me.
He wouldn't have known. I never told him. I was going to tell you when you visited me at the hospital, but you left so quick, I didn't get the chance. If only I hadn't smashed my phone that night, I would have used the proxy to call you afterward.
I see. My mind flicks briefly to the now useless phone sitting disassembled on my desk. Unfortunately, even if that were the case, you wouldn't have been able to reach me. Ever since the investigation of the power plant, my phone has been acting up. My assumption is that the high power frequency...
You're just going. Our little lad just... He's explaining things, and our two little lads here just don't... They're frowning. They're like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's just talking.
But from the corner of my eye, I catch Monty's eyes glaze over, and I stop myself from explaining further.
Oh.
But I digress. In short, my phone is also broken. To avoid further confusion, I suppose this would be an appropriate time to fill me in on what I missed. And when I can ask Ro to report his side of the story later this week.
Oh, I don't think that's possible.
And why's that? I thought you said he's awake now. The tiger looks nervously at the boar before returning his gaze to me.
I don't know how to bring this up, so I'll just say it. He has amnesia.
Oh God, this face on him. I'm just like, I would just give him head pats, give him a hug. He's just he needs comfort. It's okay. It's okay, Tibor.
Amnesia? You're kidding me, right? How is that possible? How can Ro... I mean, amnesia is usually triggered by... Are you sure it's not something else? He was misdiagnosed. I step back in disbelief at what I'm hearing. The tiger shakes his head and starts to tear up.
Oh no! Give this man a cookie. I want a cookie. Do I have ingredients to make cookies? I probably don't.
I wish. He couldn't even remember his name. Yo, it'll be okay. He'll remember eventually, right? Isn't that what the doctor said? I don't know, it might take months, and I read some people might even go their entire life without remembering.
I feel my chest tighten as the reality begins to sink in all at once.
Javier, I really need your help. I need to figure out who was responsible for shooting us that night.
I can't help you guys.
But why not? I thought we were onto something. If we can just figure out more about the snow leopard, we might have a chance to figuring out who was behind this while the leads are still fresh. Please, we have to do this for Ro.
Before you say anything else, I need to let you know I voided the contract you signed 2 days ago.
What?
I can't have you working with us anymore. It's too dangerous.
Too dangerous? So what? You're just gonna investigate without me?
Yes, eventually, but it seems like the focus has shifted. And before you say anything else, remember the main goal of the investigation was to find details about the harbor fire. That being said, Lawrence found the survivor the other night at the speakeasy.
He did? But he left soon after you went with Magnus.
It doesn't matter now. What matters is that we have a strong lead in the survivor's whereabouts. Prioritize that over these leads that we have is the right course of action.
Well, what about the...
Listen, Theodore. I don't want to sound harsh or unreasonable. I'll look into Blackout as soon as I track down the survivor and get the necessary information from them. Excuse me. And
how long is that going to take?
If I depart tomorrow and if everything goes smoothly, it might take an entire day. But these things rarely go without a hitch. The survivor may not be home, or I might have to do a stakeout that could take a week. And then I have to spend the day after that processing.
Javier, that's going to take too long. I have to leave soon. And not only that, if we don't act soon, we might never figure out who did this.
Applying your same reasoning, if I don't act soon, the survivor may slip away from us again. And what does that have to do with you? Do I have to remind you, you're not affiliated with any of us, with us anymore. The only reason I even let you in was so you could get your stuff and leave.
You didn't even check up on us afterwards. Ro could have died.
His words strike me unexpectedly, but that's true, and he's absolutely right. Theodore,
Your own friend got shot, and you didn't even want to find out why. Do you even care about us? About Ro?
He's so angry.
Yo, guys, no need to be so uptight, right? We're all chill here. Right? Javier, please. Think about it. This can't all be one big coincidence, can it? The texts, the storage, the power plant, how there was Magnus and the snow leopard at the speakeasy. And then we got targeted right afterwards. Think about it. Please.
Oh. No. You're wrong. No. This is fine. This is not fine. This is not fine at all. I close my eyes and let out a deep sigh. He's wrong. I can't let this opportunity pass us to find the survivor. Actually, wait a minute here. We'll stop right here, I think. We'll end the part here. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.